Good evening. My name is Joshua Lazarett. I'm a master's student at University of Mary, specializing in special education strategy. I'd like to welcome you tonight to my first video ever from an academic perspective. In tonight's video, I'm going to explore some concepts that are very familiar to you. They deal with universal design for learning, differentiated instruction, response to intervention, and multi-tiered system of support. It should be restated that I'm not an expert in the field of special education, and I'm drawing on research I've combined over the last week. If you would like to view the main sources of information that I drew for this presentation, please wait until the end of the presentation and I'll make that information available to you. Let's begin, shall we? So, our first topic tonight is going to be covering the Universal Design for Learning, the UDL as it's referred to in academic circles, is a system designed by Dr. David Rose. This model, as defined by Dr. Rose, is a learning model to be applied in the classroom by educators to teach students. If an educator utilizes the UDL, then they use multiple ways to represent the material to the children in the classroom, such as symbolic writing numbers on the board, calculated together, combined with Lego blocks on the children's desks where they can physically manipulate and visualize the concept as well. This model also incorporates multiple ways for children to express their knowledge and concepts they're being taught, whether it is by drawing, writing, or speaking. Finally, this model requires multiple forms of engagement with the students by having educators find multiple ways to reach children and make learning important and enjoyable to them. Dr. Rose's concept relies heavily on educator preparation and interaction with children. Excuse me. Our next topic tonight will be covering differentiated instruction. Differentiated instruction is a concept that has developed over a long time. It has its origins in the early formalized education when the one-room school was broken down into grades for the simple fact that there were different levels of learning abilities, and that teaching them all at the same time and the same way was not an effective method. Today, differentiated instruction, has been developed into a very effective tool for reaching the highly skilled children and the more learning challenged children. According to one educator explaining the concept of differentiated instruction, the best way to remember the concept is to remember the 3 P's: presentation, process, and product. To flesh this out a little, it simply states that first, an educator needs to arrive at a specific topic they want the child to learn. Next, the educator needs to think about this specific topic and apply the knowledge to their classroom, and that the child has the aptitude that their classroom has for achieving the understanding of the specific topic. And finally, the educator needs to create groupings of children with similar levels of ability to learn this specific topic and tailor an educational style to each group. This way, all of the children will be reached in the most effective way possible. After listening to both of these concepts in education explained, you may wonder what is different about them. It's true, they are both similar. However, they do have some distinct differences, and they lie at the formation of the curriculum. Differentiated instruction modifies the preconceived course of study to the needs of the student, whereas universal design for learning modifies the actual course of study in its creation. The next pairing in our program tonight will cover response to intervention and multi-tiered system of support. Response to intervention is a process used to capture issues children may have within a specific course of study. It is broken down like a pyramid. The base represents about 80 to 85% of children within a specific classroom. My son put this together for me, so you have your base here, your 80 to 85%. The These children are able to flourish in a normal classroom curriculum. So they're the normal, I shouldn't say normal, they are the students that achieve academic success with a normal curriculum. The next section of the pyramid, yellow section here, represents about 10 to 15% of the children in the classroom. In addition to the normal curriculum, these children may require some additional assistance in small groups. The last portion, the red portion of the pyramid, represents those children who, even after receiving the normal course of study and small group instruction, will still require some form of special education support. Thank you, Rocco, for this wonderful drawing that you've given me to help illustrate that. Our final concept we will cover tonight is the multi-tiered system of support. To understand this system, I would say it's the hood and sleeves of the jacket of RTI. RTI is the most important part of the base of this system due to it covering the needs to assess and meet the needs of the children. But MTSS is the big picture concept. It covers the training for educators to assist the children who fall into the smaller segments of the RTI pyramid, the leadership, the being involved with supporting the educators and whatever capacity they need, and even to help get educators teamed up together to help children to organize to be more effective in helping children that may have extra needs to achieve success in the classroom. So as you can see, it's a superstructure, MTSS, built on the foundation surrounding the RTI. So looking at these, we see something similar, as I stated, to what we had with the first pair we discussed. Both RTI and MTSS are very similar in that they build on one another. However, the difference we see is that RTI deals directly with the children and getting them the support they need to succeed, and MTSS involves the whole school team, from the students all the way to even as high as state. Conclusion, let's see. So, looking back at what we discussed, it is clear that all of these concepts we've covered tonight can bring about significant improvement in how our children are educated. They can be combined, they can be mixed and matched, and I'm sure that if they were input together into one system, putting the child first before our budgets, we would see great improvements. But the realistic side of all this is that not all teachers have the time to plan their curriculum around specific students, as with UDL, and not every school can incorporate a full MTSS, whether it's due to staffing or budget concerns. However, the more educators and policymakers know about great programs like these and implement them into their schools, the better off our children will be. I'm Josh Lazera. Thanks for listening, and the finger on my mouth was my daughter coming in, and I didn't want her to blow this one, so I didn't have to do it all again. Have a great night. Talk to you again later. Bye.